Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. Well, we're going to look a little bit into the future in this edition as we're going to be talking about artists needed for the new Jasper Arts Center, Cultural Center, which is under construction now, but you need to be looking into the future to be getting artists. Joining us in the studio is Kyle Rupert. He's the executive director for the Jasper Arts. And Kyle, this is a call out that we're going to do now for artists, visual artists, right?
Yes.
Because you're going to have a whole new set of galleries at the new Cultural Center.
Absolutely right, Bill. Thanks for having me here today. We are starting to look for our visual artists, painters, sculptors, everything in between to display or exhibit their work in the new Clarke Cultural Center starting in 2021. So we usually start about a year ahead of time. We take submissions from all over the world. And we go through a committee process that reviews all those submissions, selects those that we think will be best suited for the space, and we put them on display.
How many spaces are going to be in there now?
Yeah, so the new Cultural Center will have 3 gallery spaces. So we'll have even more opportunities for people to have their work displayed, we hope. That's the idea. The spaces are going to be a bit bigger than what we have now. So each individual exhibit space will likely be bigger than the gallery space we have now, but then we'll have 2 additional spaces as well to feature artwork. They're really nice spaces, hardwood floors, and then exposed ceilings, so that it's not a drop ceiling where it's flat. You're going to be able to look up and you're going to see the wood roof decking and the steel beams. It's going to be a really nice look.
So you may be able to have bigger artworks than you've had before, too.
Absolutely. So installation pieces, large sculptures. Anything that is 10, 12, maybe even 15 feet high, we might be able to fit in there.
Now, people driving by the Clarke Cultural Center now go, well, it's still under construction. Mm-hmm. How's that going?
Construction's going really well. We had a wet June like everybody else did, so that slowed the early work down a bit, but we're still looking like we're on schedule and on track to get the building completed in the fall of 2020. And hoping, again, the exhibits. We've already got our 2020 exhibits planned, so those will stay out at the Arts Center. Okay. That's what we're looking for 2021. So, things are going really well. They are continuing to put up steel on the site, and they keep working away.
Well, it's looking great already. It looks really, at first I thought it looked smaller than I thought it was going to be, but then as they keep adding different sections, it is getting to be really a nice big facility.
Yeah, I believe it's somewhere between 60 and 65,000 square feet in total, and I don't believe that that's counting, the 200 plus parking spaces that will be there as well, which will be nice for the facility itself since we're sharing it with the library, but also for any other downtown activities or events that are going on as well. Think Strassenfest time, hey, here's 200 additional parking spaces that we didn't have in that area before, so that'll be really nice as well.
Now you're doing a call out for artists for 2021.
2021,
okay.
Yes.
And if somebody said they wanted to go 2022, they could also submit that. I'm sure
they could
put that in the back, but
we might
really
have
we
to
need
put
them
it
now.
Back. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What kind of artists again?
Any medium. Okay. So it could be painting. It could of any using any, whether it's acrylic or oil, watercolor. We've exhibited all of those. Pen and ink drawings. Sculpture, whether it be clay or metal, mixed media, which encompasses just about anything, printmaking. We've exhibited any and all of it in the past. And then this new space, if you've got larger works, we're talking pieces that are on canvases that are 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall, sculptures that are 10 feet, we should be able to accommodate those in the new space. So we're also looking for maybe some of those that might be interested that maybe have shied away before because space, they didn't think we could fit it in. That shouldn't be a problem.
And now you need more of them all the time because you've got all these galleries to fill, not just one.
Yes.
What will happen with the Crimp Gallery?
So the current Crimp Gallery space, when we move into the new Cultural Center, since we'll have 3 galleries down there, that Crimp Gallery space will still be utilized, obviously, for performances that are still out there. But we'll be looking to transition that space into more of a true a foyer or lobby space for those performances, particularly those where it's a sold out crowd and we have dozens of people waiting inside that small space, it'll be nice to open that up a bit and not have people be so cramped, and maybe offer more seating, that kind of thing.
So you're needing new artists to submit. Do local artists obviously can come in and say, I've
Absolutely.
got great work, here's my work, so you can jury it and see. How do you get somebody outside of this area? I mean, if there's an artist in California that really should be displaying it, how do you get that contact?
Yeah, so we have obviously Emily Peak, who's our visual arts coordinator. She does a great job. She's a working artist as well, so she has several contacts. Our visual arts committee is made up of members from our community that are also professional working artists, so they have a lot of contacts as well. We put out the call on arts websites that are common call boards that a lot of other galleries will submit calls, and so artists from all over the world will look at those sites and they'll see those, and they may submit to several of them. The nice thing about our call is that there's no fee to submit. It doesn't cost you anything to submit other than your time, obviously, that went into the works, and then to send in the images and the application form, which is available on our website or at our office at the Arts Center. But that's a nice thing that we offer as well. So artists will find those things, but some of our board members or members of our visual arts committee, they may know of an artist that is doing some great work that we haven't exhibited before, and may not see the call for one reason or another, and they'll send them a note and say, hey, you should, would you consider submitting for this, and then that's how we get them sometimes as well.
So you really just need to kind of contact you and say,
Yeah.
Or even if you know of somebody, that might be one way. It's always neat when somebody moves away from this area and is a great artist in a totally different area.
Yeah.
May not realize now they can display things that they couldn't before back home.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And are you still needing volunteers to help? And are you looking to do you need more volunteers for the future, or will that kind of stay the same?
Well, so we're always looking for volunteers. We've been very excited. We've had about 10 new volunteers this year so far, but always looking for more. Particular needs are the backstage crew. These are people who, really most of it is just helping push boxes. We get boxes and crates off of the trailer when an artist comes in, we put it on the stage, and then at the end of the night when they're done, we put it all back on the trailer. That's the biggest thing, is just having people help move that stuff. If you've got any other skills, that's a plus too. But we can train people as well with those areas. But with the Cultural Center, we are going to be looking for additional volunteers. We think there's going to be areas where we're going to want additional help. Docents is a great opportunity for someone to volunteer their time. And for those who don't know, a docent is someone who would sit within an exhibit space and would help answer questions. And you don't have to be knowledgeable of the work that's on display per se. We can help give you information. If someone asks, here, give them this booklet or give them this piece of information. But looking for people to sit in there, and really it's just to make sure that we have someone there to make our guests feel welcome, but then also keep an eye out on some of the pieces that are on display as well.
I think a lot of times when we think of volunteers with the Arts Center, you're thinking of the front people who have to be a people person.
Yeah.
But that's not the case, because you do need people backstage.
Absolutely.
Do you need people to operate the spotlights, things like that?
Yep.
So a little bit of this.
And we'll
do you
train
need gaffers?
We'll need everybody. We'll take all comers. If you're someone who can get around pretty easily in terms of the backstage stuff, and 50 pounds, 75 pounds doesn't bother you. If you've got any carpentry skills, that's great too. But really, we'll take warm bodies and we'll help get them to where they need to be. We just really, more than anything, we need people who are excited to be there and who want to be there, because it is a really neat thing to see. The final product is great, but it's really neat to see how it goes from just a bunch of boxes and crates to that final product. And our backstage crew that helps with that, they really have a unique perspective and a unique experience that nobody else gets to see.
Is there a what's in it for me sort of thing? Do you get to stay for shows? How does
Absolutely,
that? Okay.
yeah. Anybody who helps out with whether it's the backstage crew, we're talking about live performances now. If it's the backstage crew, or if they're a ticket taker or an usher, all of those folks are welcome to stay and watch their performances. at no cost to them. And we do have a reception at the end of the year in December in conjunction with our Visual Arts Committee, where we'd just like to thank them for volunteering their time. It's got great food and music, and it's a really nice thing that we get to do at the end of the year. And then for our new volunteers at the Cultural Center that we'd be looking to have, we haven't quite figured out what that would look like yet in terms of docents and things like that, because there's no live performance tied to that. But we are looking for suggestions and looking at other volunteer models and seeing what they're doing. And we want to make it valuable for someone, because we know that the time is very valuable, and we certainly appreciate everyone who volunteers their time. We want to make sure that they enjoy their time with us, but that it's worth it as well.
Okay, so let's looking into the future. You are needing artists. Artists of all type, visual artists, because you've got 3 galleries you're going to have to fill starting in 2021. When you consider 2021, that's January to December, okay? And then you're also at any time right now as well, you're looking for volunteers to help with different things. All right, Jasper Arts is going strong. Make art part of your life, right?
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Kyle, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Bill.
Our guest has been Kyle Rupert, the Executive Director of Jasper Arts. So if you're an artist or you know of an artist, please start submitting your work for display in one of the 3 galleries at the new Clarke Cultural Center.
Nailed it.
That'll be opening in the fall of 2020. Thank you, Kyle, for coming in. Thank you for watching WJTS. We're local people watching local people.